so much has become conflated with what we're calling infrastructure that it's become especially problematic to actually pass. I'm bearish on lawmakers being allowed to trade stocks. I think the conflicts of interest are just too obvious. The potential for that to become somewhat of a red herring in political attacks is just too acute. So there's just not a good enough reason why a regulator should be trading stocks. Now, with that said, I do think regulators should have the ability to invest in the public markets through ETFs, where the trading in specific companies is largely done by third parties. Bullish as a concept, bearish on it actually happening. Clearly, America has aging infrastructure that is facing functional obsolescence, and that is actually a national security imperative to fix. With that said, I think so much has become conflated with what we're calling infrastructure that it's become especially problematic to actually pass. So I'm actually very bullish on why we should do it. I'm bearish on the practicalities of getting it done. I'm always bullish on the private sector's ability to create innovative solutions to problems, whether they be infrastructure or any part of the economy. With that said, I'm not so naive and so quixotic that I think the private sector creates solutions without faults. That's why we have government, right? To appropriately price in these externalities of the private sector not appropriately measuring them and integrating them into the costs of a good or service or infrastructure. So I think it's probably too blunt to say I'm bullish exclusively on the private sector or I'm bearish on the private sector. I think the private sector is an amazing guiding light in terms of what we should do and what we should do to create progress for our economy. But with that said, we need the appropriate checks and balances of the public sector to kind of appropriately internalize all the costs and all the problems and all the externalities that come with the private sector running unchecked.